Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Brawn Body Podcast. In this week's episode, I'm going to be talking all about my recent adventures in Arizona. So I'm going to be talking about what I did on the flight out, how I adjusted to a 3-hour time zone change, and how I was able to get accustomed to that fairly quickly, all things considered, and all of that sort of thing. I'll be talking about my clinical experiences and that. So over the course of the next few weeks, months, this summer, we've got a ton of guests lined up, and I'm very excited for that. We have physical therapists who specialize in neuromuscular disorders, cardiopulmonary disorders, orthopedic and sports disorders. We have some of the nation's top strength and conditioning specialists lined up. We have some people who research different biomarkers and other variables that we look at a lot in exercise, fitness, and elite sports performance. We've got all kinds of people, chiropractors, a lot of people lined up, entrepreneurs, pharmacology, PhD researchers, this, that, and the other thing. So I'm really excited for this summer. We're going to be releasing some awesome content and talking with some amazing people. So make sure you stay tuned, look forward to that, and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you share this episode, this podcast with a friend as well. So today, Monday, I'm all about the motivation, mindset, Monday kind of stuff. So how did I keep that mindset and my normal schedule when I got to Arizona? Because obviously that's a 3-hour time change pretty quickly, but I was still waking up at 4 a.m. local time. So what did I do to be able to do that? How did I adjust? First off, as soon as I landed, I switched all my clocks so I could literally see the time difference. You need to kind of picture it. I know a lot of people, they don't update their watches right away, or, their laptop doesn't connect to the internet, so that doesn't update right away. One of the first things I did was make sure all my clocks were switched over. So when I checked the time, I could kind of start telling my brain, okay, this is what time it is right now. This is what I'm seeing. This is what it is. So that was the first thing I did. Switch those time clocks over. Second thing, I drank as much water as I could. I'm literally in the desert. It's pretty dry, all things considered, especially when you're used to Pennsylvania. So when we went out for dinner Saturday night, I had 5 glasses of water. I'm not kidding, 5. And after I did that, I felt amazing. We had a little bit of a rough landing there. There's some waddling back and forth there, and people weren't feeling the greatest afterwards. But I'm telling you, once I drank a ton of water, once I got some good food in me, I was feeling 10 times better. So whenever you come to a new place, whether it's Arizona, whether it's Colorado, whatever it is, slam the water. Because a lot of times when we fly places that are warmer. We fly places that are, in altitude, or they tend to be different than where we were originally. So in my case, flying from Philadelphia to Arizona, obviously Philadelphia and Phoenix are very different cities, different climates. So being able to adjust to that is very key. And with that too, the timing of all this stuff. I kept my meal timing about the same. So local time would be about 5, 6 p.m. and I'd be eating dinner. Back home, that time, I'd be eating dinner 5, 6 o'clock. So I kept everything the same, and I just kind of made my body adjust to it. That first night I was here, I got to bed normal time, 8:30, 9 o'clock local time. And I know, for me back home, that would be 10:30, 11:30, midnight. It'd be a late night. But again, I just stuck to my normal routine as I would. And I woke up the next morning about 4 a.m. So I kind of programmed to sleep about 7 hours, 7.5 hours. So I got to bed, woke up normal time. Again, just keeping that normal schedule, normal routine has been very helpful. With that too, I've also been up and moving around every day I've been here. I've been walking. I've been doing calisthenics work. I'm still getting finalized, getting some things set up at the gyms here. But just getting active can make a huge difference, help to rebalance your circadian rhythm, and it also helps to keep your hormonal levels regular throughout the day. So as you know, your hormones fluctuate throughout the day, and if you keep your same routine, in the morning, throughout the day, in the evening, as you did when you were at your original destination, you're going to be a lot better off than someone who shows up to a whole new place and just changes everything. So far, I think the big takeaway and the moral of the story is keep as many variables as you can identical to what a quote-unquote normal day would look like for you back home or wherever you were at before you flew somewhere. And if you can do that, you can typically adjust pretty quickly. The research tends to hold up to this, and this is the same advice you get from a lot of different physiologists and other people who try to kind of health hack their travel a little bit. And with that concept of health hacking your travel, I'm going to talk a little bit too on Wednesday's episode on how you can travel, but travel safely. Because obviously whenever you're in an airplane, you're concerned about, we're recirculating air, or, hydration, or how about radiation? Because all of a sudden you're 30,000 feet closer to the sun. So I'll be discussing all that in detail. I'll bring some new research and evidence in the picture for you, and I'm really excited about that. But again, big takeaways if you're traveling somewhere, keep your schedule consistent. So it might suck the first day being up, a longer period of time, but when you wake up the next day and you feel like $1 million, it's worth it. Keep that schedule. Make sure you're pounding the water. Keep moving around. Keep active. Keep your body moving and eat good food. Food that's going to nourish your body. We didn't go out and crush, fast food for dinner or anything like that. We went out to a nice restaurant and ate some fresh foods, some authentic foods, good foods. And I avoided the alcohol. Although the margaritas they had looked very good. It was very tempting. So with that, that's going to do it for this episode. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the episode we're dropping this Wednesday. And again, that's all going to be about keeping healthy and making sure you're promoting good health habits with traveling. And I'm going to throw in some other stuff about Arizona that I've been learning along the way. So thanks for listening. Make sure you share the episode, share the podcast with a friend. Make sure you follow us on social media at Brawn Body, Brawn with a W, that is. And if you're listening on iTunes, we'd really appreciate it if you left a review. We love reading those. Thank you, and we'll see you Wednesday.